Hello, I'm David Skvor, artist, and the author of the book, The Trinity of Art. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how I draw. Now, in my earlier episodes, I said, I'm not here to teach you how to paint. Conversely, I'm not here today to teach you how to draw. But I'm going to tell you how you must draw. How I must draw. And that is the secret. Now I'm going to show you my little secret. This is my friend Juju. He's a little brass lizard. Now, as I was saying, to draw, you've got to have the Juju. Well, this is the secret of the Juju. When I go to drawing, I take Juju with me in my pencil box, and if I go outside, I'll put him in my pocket. And Juju, a little brass lizard, it fits in the palm of your hand just nicely. He's very tactile. He's not heavy, but he's not too light. He's not sharp or hard. And as I was saying to you today, I'm going to teach you how to draw. No, I'm not going to teach you. I'm going to show you how I draw with the Juju. And you're going to say, but he's a bit of a hypocrite because he just said I'm not going to teach you how to draw. Well, I'm not. What I'm going to do is teach you how to hold a pencil. Okay, Juju can have a little rest. Okay. When I was younger, I used to do some work with an old saddler. And he told me something one day about horse reins. And as you know, we hold horse reins in our hands and we guide the horse with it. And he said to me one day, do you know, if you have really thin horse reins, everyone thinks that you'll be soft and gentle. He says, it's not true. You tend to hold on tighter. So if you have a wider horse rein, you somehow are more gentle and supple. Now the idea of horse reins is you're communicating to the horse. And really, in your hands, there's no exaggerated movements needed. It's just a gentle up and down and in and out. And that you're trying to communicate and connect with the horse so that there's a relationship there. Also, it's a bit like getting back to the Juju, you know, put him in my hand and I can feel that. So it's like the horse reins. There's another thing. Sometimes if you meet someone and you shake their hand, and if they shake your hand too hard, it's or if they're too light, it's But a nice warm handshake, firm but gentle. It's hard to explain, but that's the right way. It's also like I got a little bird that comes and visits me when I'm having a coffee. Beep, 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 beep. He wants his little, what we call clunky nuts. So, okay, get the jar out, put my hand out, and he lands on my finger. And then he leans over, gets the little bicky, and he holds onto my finger with one little claw, and the other claw he picks it up and holds it in his mouth. Now that feeling that you get, he's sort of firm, but he's not too tight, he's not too light. You can feel his weight, but he's not too heavy. And that's sort of how I'm saying how you got to hold a pencil. It's like stroking someone's face. If you do it too hard or too light, it's just not right. I know this sounds silly, but to draw, you've got to be able to hold the pencil right. And it's really when you're drawing, the pencil, there's no mechanics. It's something coming from inside you through your hand. Your hand should be neutral. You've got to flow. It's like if you draw a circle, for argument's sake, there's no beginning and no end. There's nothing, there's no devices that you can lean on to do that. But perfectly executed, it's just a beautiful thing. Conversely, if you used a compass and you went, shh, all you're doing is creating a hard edge. It's almost a cut. It's like a straight line. And I've said in my book, when you draw a straight line, you must put feeling into it. You must. If you don't, it's devoid of expression and feeling. And you might think, oh, it's a straight line. Well, a straight line starts in infinity and finishes in infinity. There's no skyhooks. There's no devices. You could get a ruler and go bang, but there's no feeling in that. Same with a circle. You could do it quickly. You could do it gently and slowly. A straight line can be fast, it can be light, it can be firm, but there's the feeling. And you'll see it in the work. So I'm trying to teach you how to hold a pencil. I know it sounds dumb, and I've got to share it. So here's a drawing. I'm trying to give you some examples of how I draw. So this one here was a sketch I did in life drawing. And once again, you'll see there's no guide marks here really. There was a couple of light things, but let's look at the circle of the buttocks. I've just gone, then another one back. I haven't had enough time to think what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. You're just trying to connect what you're seeing in the model to what you want to put down on paper, and you're not using any devices in between that's going to interfere with that and cause that harshness or that mechanical look. Once again, the shoulder into the breast. Poop, job's done. The head. It's not that hard. Here's another one I'll just put up for you. All right, male figure. Same thing. A couple of little guidelines here and there. Once again, you can see it's just a stroke here, stroke there, boom, 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 down and around. I don't even really know how to articulate what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to pull things out of the air. But remember when I was talking about straight lines and circles? Okay. Circle. There it is. Didn't need a compass to do that. It's just a circle. Ellipses, which are here. The buttocks. You might see a faint line of an ellipse I've done there, and then I've picked out the parts I wanted to think. That's where circles and lines come into everything. So if we use the straight line or ruler, it's just going to have no feeling. Now you say, feeling, I can't really, a line's a line, and how do you put expression into a line? Well, this one here is an interesting drawing. Once again, done very quickly in a life drawing group. And I've titled this drawing, Stretch a Line. But as you can see, I've pushed the lines and you can actually feel it. And I said in my book, you've got to push a line until it's ready to snap. And then you've pushed it to its full extremity. It's a bit like sails on a sailing ship. When they're full of wind, about to explode, they're the most dynamic and expressive they can be. When they're half filled, they're floppy and soft. So I don't know if that helps at all. Also, going back to the horse thing, when you give the horse some sort of guidance and signal, you should be able to feel back from the horse. So drawing should be like horse reins. You're drawing on there. You're not putting a hole in the paper. You're not just, you got to feel the paper at the other end. You've got to feel this surface. You've got to melt into it. Your hand has to almost become part of the paper. In fact, your hand, the pencil, everything doesn't exist anymore. It's just what's in here and here flows onto the paper. You might say, yeah, well, that's all right because he's using a pencil. You could use a crayon. you could use a stick of charcoal out of the fire. This one here, same sort of thing I've done. Come on, old girl. That's going to work well. Like I say, high-tech production here. This one, same thing. I've drawn this though with a texture colour, you know, like those Sharpie pens you get. And I've just gone boom, boom, boom. So you can see the speed at which I've done these lines. And then boom, boom, boom. But if you look a bit more analytically, there's the point of the hip coming through there and also up here. I've used a bit of coloured pencil just to shade it in and to give it some form, but you can see the immediacy of the pencil. You can't do that mechanically. It has to flow. So that's, I don't know if I'm really winning you over today. And then you're going to say, straight lines in drawing. You can't do that. Well, you can, and you do, and you must, and it just happens. Once again, another male model, you say, but where's the straight lines there? When a model presents like this in an upright position, bang, dead straight line, and you can just see it here. You don't do that with a ruler, just, and it's straight, I'll tell you, it's a straight line. Across the midriffs here, I've used some straight lines. But the brain doesn't think about that. They're just little guides that I've used. But they almost give a dynamic of his muscles, even though they're straight where his muscles would be curved. There you go. My big episode on teaching you how to hold a pencil. I know that sounds dumb, but like, we got ruined somewhere in life. Like kids, they go to school, the teacher doesn't tell them how to hold a crayon. They just go, whatever. Maybe later on when we start to use pens, they try and teach you the right technique, and that's when we start losing everything. Yeah, I think that's what happened. We got educated. We started worrying about trying to be good at drawing, worrying about technique, equipment, success. Yeah, we lost that childlike innocence and uninhibited way of looking at things. If anything you can get out of today, I'd say, learn how to hold a pencil. Get your zhuzh back. One of my ghosts has made an appearance. He wants to get in on the act. Not now. It's coming. I hope you've enjoyed today. I don't know what I'm going to tackle next episode. The ghosts are coming. Thanks. I hope I'll see you next time.